Good morning and welcome to Weekends with Whitney. Coming up in today's show, they've been in some of Hollywood's biggest blockbusters.
There is sacrifice, and there are consequences.
Now this talented group of local actors is bringing you a film festival like no other. How you can get a front row seat. Then how local doctor Boyce Clark went from uranium chemist to creator of one of the biggest breakthroughs in hair care. It's a game changer, especially for our humid Louisiana weather. Then Dr. Nick examines narcissism. We all have a little of it. He details when to know it's hit the unhealthy level in us or those around us. But first, the blockbuster movie industry in Louisiana is now at a crawl after the legislature pulled back on state film credits. But there is one arm of the industry now thriving more than ever.
I'm not buying the whole accident.
Your father and the coroner both said it's an accident and you want to question it.
I told you what would happen if you laid a hand on my baby.
Here.
What is this?
It was the part he was afraid you would see.
I wanted to see your son take his last breath on this earth.
These are some of the latest movies filmed in Louisiana to hit the big silver screen. But none are big studio productions. They're all made by independent filmmakers, commonly called indie films. John Swider is one of them. His movie, 1959, is being shown across the country. Indies are all the rage.
I would say that we're in the golden years or the boom time of the indie film industry because right now we have the capability as independent filmmakers to produce films, full films, just like studios.
John's movie is one of dozens traveling the country in the new Cineflix Film Festival. It's the creation of local producer, actor, and director John Schneider and business partner Alicia Lane. Last week, when the festival was in the Tampa Bay area, John told the local ABC affiliate why everyone should see some indie films.
In an independent film, it's one man or woman's passion that is seen all the way through, their individual truth that comes out on screen. Not a collective truth, not a corporate truth, not a Hollywood polished truth. It's oftentimes very thought-provoking.
Many festival films, like Madeline's Oil, were made in Louisiana by Louisianians. Jancy Griffin Hogan starred in it and produced it.
For Louisiana film industry, the possibilities are endless. Like, you can do whatever you want. If you want to produce, if you want to move to Louisiana and act, you can.
She says the change in state tax credits actually benefits indie filmmakers. Before the change, you had to spend $300,000 to be eligible for any credits. Now, it's lowered to $50,000.
People who want to make their own break have to start somewhere. So why not start in your backyard?
The way the Louisiana tax credits are designed is to make it really beneficial for local filmmakers to get their story out. So yeah, this is the place to shoot as indie filmmaker.
I love it still.
Still,
Great.
yes, it's not going anywhere. We have the locations, we have the experience, the personnel, the actors, we have it all.
Actor Dane Rhodes has been in more than 100 films in Louisiana, including The Magnificent Seven, Free State of Jones.
No man ought to tell another man what he's got to live for or what he's got to die for.
I don't have the patience with 5 or 6 deserters hiding out in the swamp.
You ready?
Just hang them.
And Django Unchained. But smaller independent films hold special meaning.
I mean, our history is about celebrating ourselves here, right? And this independent filmmaking in Louisiana is a celebration of us. It has been since its inception here. It's a parade. I don't know how better to say it.
Oh,
You know,
wow,
it's a parade. It's a
we love
parade.
a parade. As an actor who played Ward in The Free State of Jones, how does playing a role in a major motion picture compared to an indie film? Better, worse?
With anything, you know, if I had to perform during the Super Bowl, I would feel a lot more pressure because it's the Super Bowl. There's a lot more money involved. An independent film is a place where you get to explore, where you get to have it. So the time schedule may be tight and may be very important, but the dollar isn't sitting over your head and you're not responsible for it. So your creative process, you're allowed to explore more. And always you find great things when you explore more.
Cineflix Film Festival lets moviegoers discover new artists, filmmakers, and ideas. But it's also taking that idea around the world by launching a new video-on-demand service. Veteran actor Don Yesso calls it a brilliant idea for indies.
Thankfully, you know, we got John Schneider and Alicia who have started this Cineplex Netflix sort of thing, and it's brought back this independent film culture here, or started an independent film culture here, and it's a nice little niche, and I like being on the embryonic stages. I'm a little pregnant with it right now. Let's see if we can bring it to gestation and, you know, have this thing birth in 9 months.
It's given birth to new projects, passion, and possibilities.
It really is just homegrown artistry from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
The film festival starts at 12:30 Monday afternoon and runs through 8 p.m. Wednesday. For a full list of showtimes and the films that they'll be showing, head to my website, weekendswithwhitney.net. And still to come, how a local father's love, a degree in chemistry, and Antarctica converged into one of the biggest breakthroughs in hair care ever, and how it can save you time, money, and frustration. Then Dr. Nick debunks the myths and mysteries of narcissism as Weekends with Whitney continues.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Falls River, here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only way to go, that's Maggio.
9-time winner of the prestigious Buick GMC Mark of Excellence Award. Atlas Foundation Repair, fixing your foundation problems for more than 30 years while preserving and protecting your trees.
Classic Hits 103.3, Scott Innes, welcome to the ride home. Put the seatbelts on, hug the babies when you get there.
Hey, Scott, coffee, water, trash need emptying?
Hey, Chris, we're good, man. Thanks for checking in, though. Appreciate checking in.
Sure.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm playing Beth just for you today.
You too much, man. I love you.
Oh, I
wanna
know
give you a
you.
kiss.
No, that's okay. Yeah, seriously.
Sure.
We're good. Seriously.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Scott Innes is back on 103.3 Classic Hits. Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. Well, if you have ever had to comb through a child's unruly, tangled hair, you know the frustration for you and the child. Well, you're about to meet a single local dad who not only tamed his daughter's unruly mane, but has set forth on a breakthrough in the industry like no other. For many, the daily battle with our hair starts first thing in the morning. We often spend hours and endless dollars trying to get soft, silky, manageable hair like this, only to end up with this. For single father Dr. Boyce Clark and his 12-year-old daughter Alden, it was a daily battle.
Her hair would be insane. I would try to comb through it. The more I combed, the more I brushed, the bigger it got. If the humidity level was up outside, the hair was huge. She's crying, I'm trying to get tangles out. I didn't know what to do.
They tried nearly every over-the-counter hair taming product, then salon products. Nothing worked. He even looked into a pricey keratin treatment.
It was going to be about $500, and she was going to have to sit in the chair for 3 hours, and they were going to heat her hair with formaldehyde on it to 425 degrees. I was like, no, we're not going to do that.
So dear old dad, who has a PhD in chemistry, once worked in a nuclear weapons lab, and was working at the time in Antarctica, knew he'd have to create a chemical concoction.
I was in the Arctic Circle 21 days at a time, so not a lot to do when it's -40. So I got a couple of 700-page books on the anatomy, physiology, and morphology of hair.
Ooh.
And took them with me and learned about hair and taught myself about it.
When he came home, he started experimenting.
I started mixing up test products in my kitchen in the KitchenAid mixer.
With your daughter's help?
Yes, and
okay.
Different nights of the week we would split her hair and do one test on one and one on the other. You know, I was numbering them. You know, chemical number 1, formula number 2, formula number 3.
By the 17th try, eureka!
It had a breakthrough, and her hair was amazing. It was so soft, shiny, and no more frizz and no more tangles. I made 5 gallons of it in an orange Home Depot bucket. Sent her to school and thought I was done, and that day teachers called me from school. What have you done? We want some.
Oh my goodness.
So I gave it out to friends and teachers. They were stopped by people on the street wanting to know what they were using.
In less than 6 months, Dr. Clark created a hair treatment experts couldn't. But other than for the sheer family sanity, he didn't know what he really had on his hands until 6 months later, when he got a call from Bumble Lane, which sells hundreds of hair and beauty products.
They say, we'd like to carry your product line.
Oh my goodness.
I'm looking at the orange Home Depot bucket. I'm like, my product line. So I said, give me 30 days. I designed labels, bottles, and now we have what's called the Lubricity system.
It's a simple 2-step, 30-minute system every 6 months that anyone can do at home. And it's all natural.
We're made from coconut oil, palm tree nuts, and green apple peels.
Some trade secret polymers make the molecules work together perfectly, but basically that's it. Oh, there are a few side effects that do come with it.
First is that the shine is incredible because the cuticle is so flat, all the light bounces off, so you're able to see rich color. The second one is that the hair is so soft and silky and smooth because the cuticle is so smooth that the hair just flows right next to the adjacent hairs. So those are great side effects to have.
Plus, it works on any hair type, texture, or color. You can even curl it, but now your curls won't be frizzy. To see for myself, I did it last Thursday. Here's before on a humid day. That's what my hair naturally does. And here's after on that same humid day. But it's not just me he's convinced. Thursday night he competed in Pitch BR. He went up against other entrepreneurs for a chance at a grand prize of $250,000 from Innovation Catalyst. And Dr. Clark won it.
Dr. Boyce Clark.
Opportunity to get the money certainly helps things happen faster, but we're interested in working with Innovation Catalyst because they have connections to get us into a bigger market.
He really is sitting on a gold mine. Women in the U.S. spend an average of $1,800 a year on their hair. It's a $20 billion industry. But for Alden, it's not money that matters.
Like when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to like constantly like brush, like have to get a brush and get like all like knotted and like all over the place. But I can just put my hand through it and like it always looks really good. So ever since I used that, it's been look really good. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, and I don't have to break the hair to try to get the knots through. I can just brush it and it's like that.
For more information on just how the product works and where to buy it, head to their website, lubricitylabs.com. And still to come, narcissism. There's been a lot of talk about it lately. Dr. Nick separates fact from fiction as Weekends with Whitney continues.
Classic Hits 103.3, Scott Innes. Welcome to the ride home. Put the seatbelts on, hug the babies when you get there. Later. I can't. I'm going to play it later, Chris. Chris, not now. I'm busy. I'm busy right now, buddy. Later. I'm going to play it for you later.
Scott Innes is back on 103.3 Classic Hits. We are all a little narcissistic. While I know that sounds terrifying to us, Dr. Nick joins us this morning to explain it. Oh my goodness, that's such a dirty word these days.
We hear it over and over and over again in the political world right now.
And I think a lot of us have gone, what exactly is the definition
What
of it?
is that? And is he one? Is she one? You know, what is narcissism? I think we have to be very careful not to pathologize what is that human condition to be a little bit self-centered.
Okay.
Self-focused. Remember, it comes from the story of Narcissus, and I'm being oversimplistic, but he sees himself in the water and falls in love with his reflection. And it becomes almost obsessed with that. And that's, as I said, over. But you see what we get, we can pull narcissistic from that.
Right, because you see nothing else except your little world.
Yes. But the real issue with narcissistic wounds, if you can call it that, in the human condition, is for every one of us, there are things that are said or behaviors or actions that we interpret as somehow hurting us, and we have to attack. For instance, if one of my buttons was feeling stupid,
okay,
and you called me stupid, do you hear how that pushes my defenses? And nothing else matters. No matter how well I'm doing in grade, that someone has said I'm stupid, it resonates with that history of feeling wounded if I've been told all my childhood that I was stupid.
Sure. So what does the high end of the narcissistic person do at that moment? Do they attack? Do they fight back against that person who said that they're stupid? I guess I'm looking for the signs.
Great question, Whitney. Thank you. I mean, you're right into it now, because it is a matter of how I can be aware of what my wounds are and what my triggers are, if you will, to my narcissistic side. One of my, I can tell you a few of mine.
Okay.
If someone says I made a mistake and I didn't do it well, I can just kind of almost crumble, and I have to catch it and say it was just a mistake. If I didn't return a phone call, and 3 or 4 days later someone calls and says, well, you're not a very good therapist, I'm like, oh, you hear, it just kind of takes me down. But now I've got 7 other things that are going great. So I have to pull myself and say, okay, that's the wound. It's the skull. It just hit me.
Scab.
It's the scab.
Somebody just ripped off.
Does that make sense? Or any? I'm trying to think of any other examples. We've all got those wounds in us.
Okay, but
that are tapped, and so what we've got to do is be aware of it.
Okay.
Catch it. And allow it to kind of dissipate with that's okay. That's okay, and almost nurture the wound a little bit. That, you know, I'm really not a mistake. I made a mistake. And I don't need to get defensive about it, or I am a good therapist. My value is to call back within 24 hours. It doesn't always happen.
Right. I'm not stupid. I did something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I did something stupid.
You know, when you said the stupid thing.
Yeah.
And I think all of us would hate to be
I
called that.
I don't want to get into the election, but I do remember that one moment in the debate.
Number 3.
Debate number 3, when Hillary Clinton said to Mr. Donald Trump, "Oh, you're a puppet," and I could see. And I'm not making a judgment. I could see in him a visceral change, that somehow that wound had been hit. And again, we all have it. I'm not talking about him. We all have it. We have to know where it's strong. But you could tell that just was not going to sit well.
Well, and maybe one of the defining qualities is this too, because going back to that debate, he came out very composed, very calm.
Focused.
Focused, and that puppet comment came, and he was wild the rest of the debate.
Yes. But again, I want to be very careful. This is not about judging Donald Trump as a narcissist.
We're just using it as
an example. It's about an example of how it can just shake us. And back to your question again, which is the more powerful one, don't get caught up in the title or in the diagnosis or in the pathology. Be aware of what triggers that sense of I'm not good enough, or I've got to fight back, or how dare him or her call me that, or say that about me. I see this all the time, and we're like, where's the trigger? What's that coming from?
Yes. And if we get obsessive about it, big red flag.
Someone said not long ago, used the word, I'm going back to the stupid again.
Okay.
And I said, well, what does stupid mean? And he said, well, thoughtless, careless. I said, not intelligent? He said, no, not that.
Oh.
And I thought, wow, now that's interesting.
Because that's not even my definition. Norwesters.
It just kind of, it hit.
It hit something.
But again, by the way, those are great therapeutic moments. When you do feel that wound has been hit, or somehow you're getting all defensive and you're losing your way, that's the moment to stop and say, where's this coming from?
Okay.
Why am I reacting to this? Why am I losing focus when she calls me a puppet? I'm just, as an example.
Right.
Why am I not staying the course? You know, when someone says you make a mistake, or you're not any good at this, or you know, if I feel it sometimes with the band.
Do you?
Yeah, well, sure, because I see all these bands playing, and I play, and I don't go out and market, but I can feel somehow at times it hits the wound a little bit, like, oh, am I not good enough?
Why am I not playing there tonight?
Why am I not playing? They're better than me. Do you hear that kind of? It's all very self-centered. Instead of, wow, I'm happy with what I do and what I've got, and the gigs that I get, and the fun times that I have, and the pleasure that I receive from it. Thank you for bringing this subject up. I think it's fascinating.
Yes, and let me ask you one quick question too. Is there a medication for narcissism? I don't think there is, but while we're talking about the subject,
you know, that's not my area of expertise, so I think it's a very good question.
Yeah. But you certainly say that there are ways internally to manage that you know.
There are.
It's not in a pill.
When you say to me, if you were to say to me, well, you can't even return your phone calls in a timely manner, it's my responsibility to figure out, why is that having such an effect on me? When I know that I'm really very good at returning calls in a timely manner.
Absolutely.
I'm just using that mistake as an example of how we can get caught up with somehow I'm not good enough. There's an insecurity, obviously, underneath all of that.
That's interesting.
All of that. Whitney, what do we say? We often say that the greatest happiness is when I'm not self-conscious.
Oh, right.
The greatest tragedy is when we're so self-conscious we can see nothing else.
It's what we were talking about that week with the gospel choir. If you're going to go experience it, stuff like lose yourself in it.
Yes.
Not self-conscious.
Lose your consciousness. Don't worry about, is somebody going to think I'm stupid or not, I don't have rhythm, or look at that crazy guy. Lose the consciousness. Yeah. That's why I enjoy our segment so much, is because while I would hope that we bring both of us experience into this, there's a loss of self-consciousness. We're not reading from a script. We're just kind of allowing the moment to happen. And I think that's how we enjoy life.
I do too.
Instead of reacting to it.
Yes, engaging in it.
And engaging in it and making plans and having goals and having a kind of an internal power source that charges us to get ready for those moments when the storms come, or when the negative comments come, or when the bad things happen to us.
Sure.
Or if somebody calls us something that we don't like, or we even get fired. Any of these things.
Well, good, and we'll know there are triggers, and we'll deal with them better. Thanks, great advice.
Yeah. So
Great
we're all
insight.
a little narcissistic.
We're all a little narcissistic.
And so what? Life goes on. Life goes on.
Just try to stay on the lower end.
Just stay on the lower end, right?
The spectrum. More Weekends with Whitney after this.
As I go look at myself in the mirror. Bye, everybody.
Atlas Foundation Repair, fixing your foundation problems for more than 30 years while preserving and protecting your trees. Thanks for joining us on this week's show. Be sure to tune in next week when we showcase the country's largest kids orchestra. And it's right here in Baton Rouge. How in 5 years it's grown from 40 kids, K through 5th, to 800. It not only gives kids something meaningful after school, it's helping them in school and with each other.
So, 1, 2, ready, play.
Just today, believe it or not, I did a lesson with second graders in multiplication, and it kind of morphed into a fraction lesson, and they were able to understand it because they understood what a quarter note was, what a half note, what a whole note was. And so I was able to actually teach fractions to second graders.
Social interaction, it teaches the children how to interact socially with each other, because oftentimes they're performing as a group. And so they have to learn how to work with different types of people, different personalities. So I'm really encouraging the students to embrace the differences that they have with their friends and the different personalities, because it's teaching them social skills.
That story and many more next week on Weekends with Whitney. I hope you have a great week ahead and a happy Thanksgiving. This morning, we leave you with a few things that caught our eye this week in New Roads. Enjoy.
Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. I'm the captain of this vessel.